Hello, good evening everyone. I am Carla Sanders, the Cosmic Crone, and I am coming to you with a series of questions and answers. I put out for people to ask me their questions about sex after menopause, and I have a couple of pages of questions, and I'm going to spend a little time, maybe 20 minutes or so, answering your questions. And if you tune in and you have a question, feel free to put it in the comments and I will see if it's something I'm able to answer on the spot right here. Just so you know, the program Sex After Menopause Pleasure Revival begins tomorrow, and the registration closes tonight at midnight Eastern Time. So you still have time. If you've been thinking about joining the program or you're just now hearing about it for the first time, you don't have a lot of time, but you've got this evening to go to the website and take a closer look and enroll if you know it's for you. So let's get to some questions. Some of the questions that came in, most of them were directly related to what is it like in the program. And some were a little bit more general about sex after menopause. But there is a lot of interest in what it would be like to go through a sexual healing, womb healing, sex education program as a midlife woman. So this first question is, I'm always concerned about continuing or truly incorporating the new knowledge or learning into my life. My answer: sexuality is lifelong learning, just as menopause is a lifelong transition. It takes 20 years sometimes to go from the first stirrings of perimenopause to be completely through menopause. And then your body keeps changing. So you don't stop changing, you keep changing, and you also keep learning. You keep learning about your sexuality, how to be in relationship, how to work with your body as it changes. And with anything that you're learning, integration takes practice. New skills take practice. Making your sex life a priority is necessary to incorporate what you learn into your life. The aim of sex after menopause is to make it easy to do this, to give you information that you wouldn't otherwise have, to give you practices and approaches to life that you wouldn't otherwise have, and to encourage and inspire you to keep going because it's pleasurable, it's fun, it works, and you're worth it. So, thank you for that question. The next question: I have pain and I really don't want sex. Can I get anything from this program? And the short answer is yes, you can. And I want to be 100% clear that sex after menopause is not about getting over anything. If you're not ready to have any kind of sexual activity, whether it's a pleasure practice, an observation practice, a thinking about it practice, or a doing something with your partner practice, if you're not ready, you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Part of the work is to deeply, reverently honor where you are in yourself and sexuality right now. And if that's all you got out of the program, it would be worth your investment, your time, and your attention, because chances are you're not having that experience right now. In Sex After Menopause, we work with erotic and orgasmic energy. There are ways to activate that energy that do not involve touch, sex, intercourse, or even masturbation. We do talk about all of that. You will learn more about all of that. But I want you to understand that orgasm is partly, maybe even mostly, a state of consciousness. You can breathe your way into an orgasmic consciousness, for example. And I will also teach some practices that directly address pain. And I make recommendations that can support your healing, and also helping you talk to your partner who may be frustrated and feel helpless to know how to be with you and support you with what you're going through. And I have a list of things that I have done because I have had pain. I have to do things differently now than I did when I was younger. And I have professionals who support me. So the collective and I can help you with what you're experiencing. And I hope that gives you some hope that this is not the end of your story or the end of your sex life. Oh, this next question. I feel embarrassed to admit this. I'm embarrassed to admit I have a problem with sex. It used to be great. It used to be easy. And now it isn't. That's a really painful place to be in. It can feel hard, so hard, to feel betrayed by your body. When what used to be easy and joyful becomes difficult. And it's okay to grieve what isn't there anymore. It's important and necessary to grieve. We will address grief as we go through sex after menopause. We will do some grief ritual. And what grief does, it allows you to accept that things have changed, that things are different, and to begin to feel ready to explore what is new and what is available, because more is available. One of my watchwords is, it's not about getting back what you lost. It's about discovering the new depth that you now have. And sometimes what you lost does reappear. Yesterday, a lot of our conversation in sexuality was about the roller coaster. You think it's over, flatline, never coming back, and boom. Wow, where did that come from? And the feelings of being embarrassed, embarrassment, shame, mortification, disappointment, betrayal. I have felt it all. The women in the circle with you will be very familiar with these feelings. We've got your back. And I hope you will come and be with us. And one of the things that we do is that we reframe loss and embarrassment into acceptance, curiosity, and exploration. So this question's very simple. Distance. I'm a little bit concerned about how we're going to do this on Zoom. And also, will this be women on their own or women and their partners? So how does it work on Zoom? It works great on Zoom. I have done 99% of my teaching through virtual. Zoom, online, on the phone, before Zoom was such a thing. And I received 99% of my training. Well, maybe not 99%, maybe 90% of my training, certainly for the first 8 years, it was on the phone. I didn't meet my first teacher for 8 solid years. crazy, isn't it? But you know, this is energy work. And we have video for visuals and handouts. So yes, it works great on Zoom. And we're not performing. We are learning. I teach some things that are energy work and are completely feeling safe and normal on video. And then you go into the privacy of your own space if you choose to do another level of practice. So that's one question. The other question this person asked is it just women or women with their partners? Only the women who enroll will be in the course. And we'll have some women who have taken it before because I invite them back for a refresher. And we always begin with agreements around confidentiality. Participants can share what they learn with their partners. That's part of what we do. But we do honor and respect the confidentiality of others in the group. It is paramount and sacred. So I hope that answers your question, and I've addressed what you were asking for. So here's a couple of questions that came from two different people, and they are so close together that I'm going to bunch them into one. One says, I'm just not really interested in sex because I don't like my body anymore. And another one says, I don't feel sexually attractive because I look in the mirror and I look old. This is for everyone. This is for all of us, whether or not you're interested in this program. Attractiveness, pleasure, lust, desire is an inside job. Everything about sex after menopause guides you into accepting and loving yourself as you are, valuing yourself as you are. Age, weight, sexual preference, hair color, pain, scars, stretch marks, aches and pains, flatulence, any of the physical things we may feel unsure about, lack confidence around, or fear rejection about, these have no effect on the central truth, and that is orgasm and pleasure are your birthright. You deserve pleasure and you deserve as much as you want. You can be orgasmic as much as you want. You get to enjoy sex as much as you want. And also, orgasm is a great beauty treatment. Fountain of truth, thank you. It is that too. Fountain of youth and self-confidence builder. Now, you may look in the mirror and judge yourself. You may look in the mirror and worry about what your partner is seeing. Maybe you've had partners who were insulting or insensitive. Maybe it's something from way back when you were younger. So, if you have an insensitive partner, shut them down. They don't get to talk to you that way, and we'll help you with that. If you look in the mirror and you are your own worst enemy, you are judging yourself for how you're not measuring up or how you've changed, look at me. I'm 66 years old. I happen to know that I'm beautiful. I also know I've got the wrinkles under my eyes, and I've got things happening with my chin, and my hair is getting whiter by the day. And I've got belly and stretch marks, and button boobs, and all of the things. And I'm hot as Hades. I'm hot like Pele, because I decided to be. I earned it. I earned everything about this body. I earned and worked to expand my capacity for pleasure and accept myself. It was work. And I could say it's still work, and it is work, although this part is not that much of a problem anymore. It's almost more. There are other places where I'm still working to accept myself and forgive myself and love myself. This is life. And you know what one of my best helpers is? Knowing that I am orgasmic. And I am worthy of pleasure. And that pleasure heals me and keeps me going on this journey of self-love and self-acceptance. So I am your cheerleader with this right now. Yeah, it's tough to look in the mirror and think, wow, where is the young woman I once was? Well, I'm here to tell you, when I was a young and slender woman, I thought I was fat and I didn't think I was pretty. So I am really grateful to be happy with myself right now. And in Sex After Menopause, if you're harboring any of that old stuff, or there's anybody in your life that wants to pick at you and you don't know, and you tend to agree with them rather than shut them down, we'll work on that. You don't have to put up with that shit anymore. So, did I answer your question? I got kind of vehement about it, but I do. This is my passionate life's work, to help women tap into their erotic power, become more orgasmic, to learn what is possible for you, and to heal what hurts because people shut you down the minute they saw you were a girl when you were born. So, I will not apologize for getting fierce about this. And I don't want you to apologize for any of the things about your body, or about your desire, or about your pleasure. No apologies. Thank you. Next question. Do I have what it takes, and will I be able to be vulnerable enough to share intimate details? It is important to have a safe container built on trust. Well, the first person you have to trust is yourself. If you're making a decision of whether to invest and enroll in Sex After Menopause, and you're looking at me and thinking, can I trust her? Can I trust myself? A lot of times questions of trust they're rooted in self-trust, but they're also rooted in past betrayal or fear. They may be rooted in the thing I just described in the previous question. So if you're thinking about enrolling and wondering if you can trust yourself, you have that answer inside of you. Go within and say, and I will acknowledge that it will feel like a risk. It may feel like an uncomfortable step. That level of discomfort is sometimes a sign that you're being called forward. I definitely recognize that when it's time for me to make a change. So, know that you have that answer inside of you. And if there's, and you'll probably have both. Yes, I want to change this. I want to heal this. I want all these things she's been talking about for these sessions about healing old wounds and transformational orgasm in all of this. So, yeah, you want it. But are you good enough? Can you afford it? Will you have time? Will you show up? Will I be good enough? Am I the teacher for you? Feel into it and answer that question. Your soul and your body together, they know. That's what I have to say. That's the first thing. And the question, do you have what it takes? If you're wondering, do I have what it takes? Yes, you do. We meet you where you are. And we give you the tools that will help you succeed. You have what it takes. Of that, I am certain. If you get to the point of stepping over the threshold and enrolling, I know you have what it takes. There is no doubt. And then what about vulnerability? Vulnerability is the root of power. It is the root of pleasure. Being vulnerable is what allows you to surrender to pleasure, to surrender to a lover, to surrender to these altered states of consciousness that pleasure and orgasm can bring you. Yes, you can be vulnerable. And nobody's going to rush you. Nobody's going to require anything of you that you are not willing to give. Now, I have taught this program 2 times. This is the third. And I have worked with women for years in groups and one-on-one. And I want to say this specifically, in Sex After Menopause and all of my programs, even the one-on-one, we operate with the strict code of consent. Doing sex requires consent. Talking about sex requires consent. Telling your story, me offering, there's a certain degree of implied consent when you enroll, when you say, yes, I want you to teach me. But there's another level at which I will seek your consent or confirm your consent in the moment. That's a more accurate way of saying it. I will confirm your consent in the moment when we are going into places where that might trigger more vulnerability. So, you do not have to do or say anything that feels uncomfortable to you. We are not doing sex in our sessions. Now, we might be generating orgasmic energy through energy work and breath work, because you can do that, and I teach you about that. But there is nothing going out that feels that is dangerous. I promise you that. You can always turn your camera off if you don't want to be seen in the moment. We have also, people have permission to request that we turn the recording off if something is coming up and they just feel too vulnerable to be recorded. So that is also something that is available. I put as much power in your hands. Okay, the next part of that, you participate to the degree you feel ready. And this is what happens. After a few weeks together, women bond around shared challenges, stories, and successes. We women are hungry for this kind of circle, this kind of rawness, this kind of truth. And you will feel so much support. So I hope that answers any questions you have about the container vulnerability. And I will also confess that I am not perfect. I am a mere human being, a goddess wearing human clothes. So, if I slip up, if I forget to ask, you are empowered to say, wait. Let's talk about this. Let's back up a minute. Yeah. So that's where we are with a safe container vulnerability. And are you up to it? Do you have what it takes? Someone asked, I'm wondering if this content is a match for my current needs and my time right now. And she also added a couple of specifics about her situation, which I won't go into right here. I would have to say, what outcome do you want? And then, know what it is that you want. You could be feeling it as, what pain or problem do you want to solve? Or what result do you want to achieve? Whichever way you can access, what is the outcome you want? And then go look at the webpage and say, does it address the things you want in your love life? Binge watch the sessions on Sex After Menopause that are here on this page, or go to my YouTube channel. And the last four are these sessions, the Sex After Menopause sessions. So you can binge watch those this evening and say, yep, she's talking about the outcome I want. And once you've decided that, yes, this matches up with what I want and what I need, check in. How do you feel? What's your visceral gut response? Once again, your body and your gut know. Are you intrigued? Are you curious? Do you feel goosebumpy? Do you feel weepy? Sometimes our truth hits us right in our tear ducts. We can't stop crying. These are the signs that it's right for you. We're getting close. A couple of more questions. What about my partner's orgasm? Your partner gets to focus on your orgasm in Sex After Menopause. And if they are having challenges that impact their own desire, libido, interest in sex, frequency, that they want to have sex, or their enthusiasm, then we can help you address that with them. And one of the main things I want you to know, and this goes into the next question. A person says, I don't really have the confidence that my partner's going to show up for me. So, before I go to that, there's a part 2 to what about my partner's orgasm, and this, I don't know if my partner's going to show up. I don't know if I can count on them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the root of this person's question. What about my partner's orgasm? It could be they have issues and problems, and will this fix them? Well, nobody's broken. You don't need fixing. Remember that part. And the other thing it might be is that sometimes what motivates women to want to change in this time of change or in menopause is that they're not wanting sex anymore. They're having difficulty with their sex and pleasure, and their partner is concerned. Their partner is not having his or her needs met. So we tend to want to serve the people we love. We want to take care of them. We want to make sure their needs are being met. So if you are going through a passage where you are not feeling sexy, your libido is tanked, and you are I mean, some people go through that and they're just saying, I'm done. I don't care. Never mind. It's over for me. It's over for you. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're not that person. You do care about your partner's needs getting met and your partner's pleasure. And it's troublesome to you that not only are you not able to enjoy sexuality, but they're missing out. So if that's the way you feel, bless you. But we are turning the tables because there's a very strong probability that you have done your entire sex life thinking first about your partner's pleasure and you come second. Even if you're in a relationship where you have the woman always comes first principle or policy. Because that's how we're wired, that's how we're socialized. So in Sex After Menopause, hold up that mirror. It's all about you. You, not only do you come first if you want to, but your needs are at the center, whatever they are. No sex right now. This kind of sex instead of that. Whatever you need. You are going to tune into and learn about your own desire, your own needs, and put yourself at the center of your sex life. Which means if you don't have a partner at all, you're single, flying solo, or you're not sure your partner is going to show up, be interested, feel okay with any of this, that's all right, because this is about you. This is 190% about you. And it is also about you, the aspect of it that you choose to share and invite your partner into. It's still about you. Does that freak you out? That it gets to be all about you? Well then, if it does, sign up. You need Sex After Menopause. You need this program. And I want to help you with that. So, I didn't write any of that down. That was off the cuff. Your partner may not be open to joining you in your newfound pleasure, may not be open to the changes you propose, and they may surprise you. I know that connecting with your partner is important to the clients. It's important to me in my relationship, and that's why we do include communication skills, and we also have a unit that we call the Goddess Array that I borrowed from Naomi. Gosh, I've forgotten her name. Naomi Gold? No. Wow, I forgot her name. That's one of the things, last names. I may not remember your last name when you sign up either, because what is her name? Wow, that is so great. The book is Vagina. Doesn't matter who wrote it. I borrowed it from her. I'll have it in the resource section. It's in the resource section of Womb Wisdom Portal, by the way. Okay, that's why we include communication skills and the Goddess Array in the content. Just remember, you do not need your partner's engagement or permission to receive more pleasure, stand in your power, love yourself more, to have orgasms, to masturbate. You do not need your partner's permission or engagement to be an orgasmic sexual woman. This belongs to you. I get vehement about that too. And this one is so sweet. And it's kind of, we've kind of answered it, but it's a little bit different way of looking at it. I'm feeling really scared. How do I know it will work? Whew, I can relate. And it's normal to feel scared on the threshold of big change, and to feel so much desire and hope, and to be afraid it won't work. Completely normal. And so I just encourage you to come in with an open mind and trust that it will work, that you will work, that you have this within you, that you are designed for pleasure. And you are enough. This is a big moment for you to own. I am enough. You will get things from sex after menopause that you'll never imagine, that I can't prepare you for, the depth and breadth of what we will do, and the chemistry, what you bring to it is so unique that you're going to draw things from me and receive things from the other women in the group that that I can't even anticipate. I cannot put that into a sales letter or a webinar, because we make magic and alchemy together in sex after menopause. So when you show up, practice and let the new experience in, and let your life change. That's all I can say. So how much does sex after menopause cost? All this information is on the webpage. I do not even make you click through one more time, but I'm going to tell you right here. It is $9.97 paid in full. And I have 2 payment plans to fit any budget. $547 for a 2 payment plan, $547 times 2, so it'll be a little more, a little bit of a premium, and $347 times 3 if you want a 3-month plan. And I have to tell you that the next round I'm doubling the price. It's worth it. The value is there. And so that's all the more reason that if you are called, curious, jump in now, tonight. So how do you register? You go to the webpage, cosmiccrone.com/Sam8 week, and I will put that website is already all over this page, and I'm going to put it in the top of this video and in the comments, so you will have it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you tomorrow in Sex After Menopause. And bless you, beautiful women and human beings. Good evening.